You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, let's talk about a former Republican who became a Democrat who now wants to run for president on the Democratic side. That's former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. In an interview that aired this morning on CBS, Michael Bloomberg had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say this about Stop and Frisk.
Stop and Frisk, you recently apologized for that. Some people are suspicious of the timing of your apology.
Well, the mark of an intelligent, competent person is when they make a mistake, they have the guts to stand up and say, I made a mistake, I'm sorry.
We don't question your belief that you made a mistake. I think the question is the timing that you realize you made the mistake.
Well, nobody asked me about it until I started running for president,
Okay.
So come on.
Are you saying to people that you realize you had made a mistake before, but you just didn't mention it until now?
I think we were overzealous at the time to do it. Our intent was to do anything we could to stop the carnage, the murder rate. And what was surprising is when we stopped doing it a little bit, we thought crime would go up. It didn't. It went down. You know, it should have, would have, and could have. I can't help that. But in looking back, made a mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's go fight the NRA and find other ways to stop the murders and incarceration. Those are things that I'm committed to do. And the more I do that, the better off everybody is.
Sorry, Mike Bloomberg. You are a lying sack of crap. Celeste O'Brien actually addressed this issue, folks. And this is what she sent out in a tweet. She tweeted that she asked Bloomberg to take part in a documentary about Stop and Frisk 6 years ago. He declined. She also tweeted that in 2014, she asked him directly if he was sorry about Stop and Frisk, and he said that more black and brown people should have been stopped. Abby Phillips, who is with CNN, tweeted the following on this very issue. First, I'll bring it up in a second, but a number of people actually did ask him. There is video, Dr. Carter, of Michael Bloomberg defending Stop and Frisk. To sit there and lie, to say no one asked, is outrageous. Activists asked. Journalists asked. Many folks asked. Mike Bloomberg goes, oh, come on. No. Mike Bloomberg is trying to replace a liar in the White House. He is lying about Stop and Frisk, and somehow he wants us to just ignore the constant defense that he gave to Stop and Frisk. And he thinks that going to a black church led by Pastor A.R. Bernard in New York and apologizing is somehow going to cause us to forget how he simply defended it. He only apologized because he is trying to run for president. Simple as that.
Absolutely. He's doubled down on Stop and Frisk several times. He tried to expand Stop and Frisk. I mean, remember, they also wanted to collect people's biological information at one point in time. So this man was dedicated to this program, and not to mention the carnage and the havoc that it wreaked on black and brown communities who've been caught up for nothing, right? I mean, we've seen what happened with folks who couldn't afford cash bail and how long they were kept in jail and other kinds of things. So Stop and Frisk wasn't just an inconvenience. It was dangerous. It was wrong, and it was unethical. He knew it, and now he's saying, okay, well, I punched you in the face, but I said sorry now, so let's just get over it. There's been no attempt to repair. There are communities in New York that are still traumatized, and for him to actually sit there and say that nobody asked me about it, when we absolutely know that there were activists and others in New York who were holding his feet to the fire consistently throughout this period, talking about why Stop and Frisk was an infringement on folks' civil rights. And for him to sit there and say, oh, well, nobody really asked me about it, he's a liar. He's not worth our time. And I mean, really what he's trying to do at this point is buy an election, right? This man has $52 billion personal dollars.
Yes, sir.
Michael Bloomberg, I'm sorry, to lie that blatantly disqualifies himself for running. Stop and Frisk is one of the biggest issues, biggest blights on his record. It was shameful. It was despicable. It simply did not. Then after the judge ruled it unconstitutional, ruled against it. Bloomberg went out and said that crime was going to go back up and assail those who were fighting to stop it. And we know, but the facts, crime did not go up. Michael Bloomberg flat out lied to Gayle King. And if a person's going to lie like that about this issue, they will lie about something else.
Well, I don't think anybody's happier than Mayor Pete because now he's not in the bottom for black and brown support. And it was flat out just a flat out racist policy. We were just talking during the break about where it started. And, you know, I understand that it was the brainchild of Giuliani, but Bloomberg is the one that put it on Front Street. And now de Blasio is putting out numbers showing that crime has actually gone down, that you don't need stop and frisk. So it's just a wrong policy. It's a racist policy. And it's too bad that his apology rang hollow.
But look, Julian, you can't get around it. He lied. Simple as that. And if he had any guts, he would come out and say, you know what? I was mistaken. What I told Gayle King. But here's the other deal. I don't even give a damn about that. I don't accept his apology because he is only apologizing now. Only because he's running for president. He did not apologize. He was defending Stop and Frisk as late as January of this year. But all of a sudden, after he announces he's running for president, oh, I'm sorry. I've now found the light.
Yeah, I think honesty is the best policy when you're running for office, and just about anything you support or you have supported in your past, especially if it's controversial like Stop and Frisk, is going to come up. If, you know, I feel like he should have just came out and said, hey, it was something I should have supported. It should have never happened. But to try to just, you know, sweep it under the rug like, hey, I'm sorry, you know, let's move on. Then you come with the angle of let's deflect. Let's bring up the NRA. You know, I want to go after the NRA. At some point, you know, when it comes time for a debate, this issue is going to come up again, and he's going to have to answer to it. And if he has the same response during a debate like he did this time with Ms. Gayle King, it's not going to set well with African Americans. You know, I don't think he's going to get far with his debate, but at some point you're going to have to, you know, address it and just be honest with the people.
Yep, stop lying.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, the folks at marijuanastock.org have already reached more than half of their funding goal for the hemp CBD investment. That's right. If you want to take advantage of this great opportunity, you need to do it now because it won't last much longer. If you don't know, I'm talking about the hemp plant, the good cousin to marijuana with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Also, if you don't know, hemp farming is now legal in the United States, creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. It's just an opportunity for you to invest in a burgeoning economy, and that's where the folks at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. As hemp continues to change the economic landscape, 420 Real Estate is allowing you to chase the American dream. What you can do is go to, again, their website, marijuanastock.org, to participate in this crowdfunding campaign. The minimum amount is $200. You can invest up to $10,000. Of course, the fund is going to be closing soon, so to invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and get in the game now.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.